Welcome to week 3 of my course series with Gabriel Benjamin. Let's just jump right in.
All right, welcome back everyone. Week 3 of the 4-week core sequence. We're going to do an oldie but goodie to warm up the wrists. So go ahead and stand really tall, even feet, integrated abs, long spine, and paint the house. Fingers down, arms up, push through the palms, and repeat. Now this is really helpful for warming up for plank, and as you've noticed, throughout the weeks we're doing plenty of plank drills. It's one of the best exercises for the core. It's really good for our bone density, which is important for us as cyclists as well. And a good warm-up makes the planks a little less miserable. So go ahead and keep doing a few more rounds of painting the house. Abs in the whole time. Now next time the arms come up, we're going to weave the fingers. Again, integrate the core, push up through the palms. And if your wrists really hurt, you can do palms down. Otherwise, up through the palms, but set the shoulders. Shoulders a little low, long neck. And then bend and extend the arms. Continuing to warm up shoulders, wrists, and biceps. Very good. Relax the arms. Set yourself in position for our first plank. Let's go ahead and touch down. Place the hands. Hands being even is very helpful. You can use the edge of the mat for that. You can have your fingers off the mat if your wrists hurt and or your wrists a little more forward than normal. You want your abs to lift. You're lifting out of the shoulders, firming the legs. It's a leg pose as well as a core and arm strengthening sequence. And we're going to really use the legs to tap into the low abs by bending the knees slow. These are called knee push-ups. So lift the knees, make the legs very firm, and bend the knees slow. Knees lift. Knees bend slow. This is really helpful for strengthening a lot of core muscles, but especially lower abdominals, which helps keep the low back super healthy. There's very few cyclists I know that don't have various low back pain from time to time. A lot of that comes from having weak abdominal muscles. So we'll do that a little bit more. And knees down. Let's go ahead and lower all the way. Reach back through the ankles. Lift legs and chest. Lift the hands a little bit. Feel the chest open a little bit more. Arms back. And come down. Use the core to lift. Now let's go ahead and take a dog stretch. So push into the legs, have the hips high and the head down. It's okay if you need to bend the knees a little bit. We'll just be here very briefly. Keep lifting out of the shoulders and then knees back down. Elbows down. Again, very long. So I recommend hands off the front, but elbows on the mat. Feet at the back, lower the hips, shoulder level, really tuck the tail, squeeze the core, part the shoulder blades to maximize the strength in the front of the body without putting too much pressure into the shoulders or back body. And then settle into the Sphinx stretch. So we'll take a little Sphinx, work on lifting the chest. This is a good little stretch to counterbalance slouching over the bars on a regular basis. And on your own, you might choose to start doing this for longer periods regularly, but for today, we'll just pass through it and extend the arms overhead, lower down. Now lift the arms and the legs. If the neck really hurts, do a basic form like we did before, hands near chest. Otherwise, arms extending is good for the posterior core. Roll your knees in to protect your sacrum and come on down. Place the hands back alongside the chest and we're going to lift and take a plank again. So lift and take a plank and then take your left knee to your left arm. Come back and take the right knee to the right arm. Come back, left knee to chest, then the right side. Now other side, work across knee to opposite elbow, and then right knee, left elbow. Come back to center and put the knees down and sway once each side. Press the ribs to the right and press ribs to left. Come back to center. Engage the legs, plank, perhaps take the right hand a little more forward. Take side plank with the feet together. Throughout the weeks, we've learned knee down and kickstand. You can do that if you like. Otherwise, side plank, both feet are strong. You're pushing into the feet to use the lateral strength to lift. And then without rushing, come on down, switch, feet together, or one of the options, knee down, kickstand. You want to keep the hips up to keep space in that shoulder joint, which is super key. Come down without rushing, and let's lower all the way down. And we're going to switch to doing a leg lift. So take your left arm overhead, roll to your side, and hold the head. Flexing both feet, lifting the right leg 5 times. So find a steady pace and keep the foot in line with the other foot so you don't lift too high, but you maximize the muscular strength. Also, keeping the foot sideways versus up will help to maximize the strength versus just working on the height by taking shortcuts. Very good. So we're going to come back to face down and switch to the other side. Extending the arm, rolling to the opposite side, holding the head, flexing both feet, and then doing some side leg lifts. So again, you're keeping the foot in line with the other foot, keeping the foot facing sideways. You may not lift as high that way, but you'll maximize the strength into these lateral muscles that we really kind of overlook as cyclists. They're key to the health of the hips, back, and knees. Awesome. Okay, and then we come back down and lift to hands and knees and switch to set up for our V. So we bring the legs in front, scoot on up, and set up for the V. So you can do the basic like we've learned already, hold the legs, otherwise arms out. The goal is knees high, chest high, so only go as far as you can do that. If you can make the full V, awesome. Otherwise, modify and make the low V, lower down. Just look at the toes, holding it a little bit longer than last week. And then we're also going to make fists and face the thumbs. Now flex the feet so the ankles are super tight. Lift the right leg and right arm and crisscross and switch and keep the ankles super engaged so you don't have floppy feet, and therefore you maximize the strengthening of the inner hips. A lot of times when we're working on our strength, we do linear strengthening, and the body thrives when it has the inner and outer lateral strength. So we really want to make sure to incorporate that in our core routines as we're doing now. Keep going a little bit. Of course, you could rest if you need, otherwise, a couple more reps, top and bottom. And take rest. Lay down. Enjoy a brief respite. And bring the feet together. Now, if you have big calves, like if you're a sprinter, you may not be able to do that. Just have the legs as together as you can. Flex the feet and bring the legs up most of the way or vertical. Lower and repeat. If your low back hurts, try this with the towel under your back or your hands, or just push the hands alongside the hips for a little extra support. Knees bending is fine. Straight legs and sharpened feet is ideal. Rest if you need, otherwise let's do a few more. And release. Catch your breath for a sec. And let's go ahead and bring the hands behind the head, getting our weekly staple in of the bicycles. Let's do a bicycle crunch at first as a squeeze. So right elbow, left knee, squeeze for 5, 4, 3, 2, and switch sides. 1, 2, put a little more squeeze in it. 3, 4, 5, and now go back and forth. If you need a little break in between that, no problem. Otherwise, enjoying the back and forth to combine the movement with the static strengthening. Really active lengthened bottom leg as part of that. Couple more. And take rest. Bend your legs. Have your heels close to your hips. And then tuck your chin, tuck up, scoot up, and then touch one ankle, then the other, and go back and forth. Again, working on the lateral strengthening. It's a big theme all through the series, but especially this week. The more we're laterally strong, the more agility we have, and also the body has more stability for the joints. And when you're done with both sides, take a little rest. Catch your breath. Next, extend the legs. Point the right foot. Lift. Now lift the left as you lower the right. Keep the legs engaged, the ankles pointed, and continue scissoring. The shoulders may creep up around the neck, but try and keep the shoulders pretty low. The neck, as is all parts of the spine, is long. And you're really working the legs, hip flexors, and abs here. Couple more. Last one. And lower the left leg. Take rest. Good work. And we'll bring knees into the chest. And go ahead and open the arms. Take the legs to the left, a little bit of a twist. And come back to center. Open the arms again. Let's do the other side. If you like, you can use one hand on top of the upper thigh. And come back to center. Let's go ahead and rock on up. Once you're up, we'll go ahead and adjust and take a little seat. Sit any way that's comfortable for you. Take a lateral stretch with your neck down onto your right shoulder. Really feel that opposite shoulder sink. We're working in this area, doing all those planks so good. We want to make sure that we give it some flexibility back in return. Right, it's good to work the body hard. We'll switch sides and then give it some love in return. Keep that shoulder working really down as the head really comes over. And you can take some nice breaths as you're stretching, warming down gradually. And coming back to even. Well, the last stretch we'll do to cool down is a straddle. Now, if you're newer to flexibility, it's just a little bit, and that's totally fine. Eventually, you open really wide. Being sideways on the mat is good so that your heels can have some padding. And you just open to your comfortable level. You draw in your abs, sit tall, lift the arms, and stretch to the right leg. Now you may just be holding the shin, that's totally fine. Otherwise, stretching with one hand on the foot, one hand on the leg, and eventually both. And come back to the even position. Bring the arms up, abs in, and stretch to the opposite leg. Again, hold the shin if you need. Otherwise, one hand on foot, eventually both. Don't worry about trying to stretch too far. Just enjoy nurturing yourself as you warm down slowly from the hard workout. And release from that stretch. We'll conclude. So that's it for week 3. Looking forward to one more challenge next week for week 4. See you soon.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed this third installment from me and Gabriel Benjamin. Again, check the links below to donate if you enjoyed this, and to check out more from him. Next week we're all gonna have like a 12-pack, I promise.